Hello friends, this is me, your host. Welcome back to our channel. I hope you all are well and doing great. So today I'm back with another video to give a review on another books on another topic, as we have covering topics on crime thrilling stories, romantic stories, some books on mind and body and spirit and your soul, and some books on the peaceful world, environmentalist. So we are giving review on and trying to give review on every topic so you can get all the informations and you can decide which book you like the most. And if you wanted to buy any one of these best-selling books, you can visit our Amazon page and buy it from there. So today in this video we will talk about three books which are all about the crime, thrilling and mystical stories. So the first one which we're going to see today is A Death on Location by Reverend Richard. Introduction. Reverend Richard Coles has in recent years carved out an unexpected but welcome place in the world of British crime fiction. Already well known as a musician with the commoners, broadcaster, and clergyman, Coles has turned his hand to writing, producing a series of cozy mysteries. Centered on the thoughtful, observant Canon Daniel Clement. With A Death on Location 2025, Coles delivers in the 4th century in the Canon Clement mysteries, following Murder Before Evensong. A Death in the Parish and Murder at the Monastery. The new installment continues Cole's project of blending the classic trappings of the cozy crime novel, small settings, village settings, and centering communities, a light touch with humor, with his own distinctive moral perspective. Unlike some purely physical, whimsical mysteries, Cole's books reflects his life as a priest. Cole's books reflects his life as a priest. They contain an underlying concern with truth, justice, community, and conscience. A Death on Location distinguishes itself from its predecessors by introducing an element of Hollywood spectacle into the sleepy parish of Champton. The arrival of a film crew upsets the rhythms of village life, providing the stage not only for heightened comedy but also for a dramatic murder. In this review, I will explore the novel's plot, characters, themes, style, and position with both Cole's series and the broader tradition of British cozy crime. Plot walkthrough. The setup spring 1990 in Champton. The novel is set in spring 1990, a period chosen carefully by Coles, by situating the story not in the present but on the cusp of the 1990s. He creates a slightly nostalgic lens. Britain was then undergoing social and cultural shifts. Thatcher years were closing, globalization was accelerating, and mass media was changing. The nature of fame against the backdrop, the fictional parish of Champton continues its centuries-old routines until the farm crew arrives. Champton House, the great manor that looms over the village, is chosen as the site for a lavish historical masque. Lavish masque. The production demands ornate costumes, wigs, crowns, farthingales, and it enlists locals as extras. At first, the villagers are both excited and unsettled. Gossip thrives. Who has seen which actor? Who has been chosen for which role? Who disapproves of? Who disapproves of the disruption? Canon Daniel Clement, the parish priest, observes with wry amusement. He knows the rhythm of his community and senses both delight and irritation among his parishioners. The inciting incident, a shocking death, as the production continues, tension mounts. Hollywood ego clash with local sensibilities. Rivalries emerge both among the crew and between locals competing for attention. The masked man to walk the 1600s ironically becomes a stage for every modern dramas of vanity, jealousy, and resentment. Inevitably, tragedy strikes. One of the crew is found dead under suspicious circumstances. The festive glamour turns instantly into fear and suspicion. The villagers are scandalized. What has this glamorous intrusion brought into their midst? The investigation. Detective Sergeant Neil Vanloo arrives to lead the official inquiry. He is diligent, pragmatic, and skeptical of interference. Yet Daniel, with his keen eye for human behavior and his pastoral duty to his flock, cannot resist becoming involved. He spoke to parishioners, listens to their fears, and notices small inconsistencies others might miss. The investigation unfolds through a blend of clues, red herrings, and revelations. Suspects multiply. Was the killer motivated by jealousy, career, rivalry, financial gain, or something buried deeper in the past? Coles excels at weaving suspicion through both the villagers and outsiders, making the boundaries between them blur. The resolution. Without revealing the killer's identity, it is enough to say that the solution is cleverly staged. The world of performance and costume becomes more than metaphor. It plays into the mechanics of the crime itself. The ending reinforces Cole's consistent moral emphasis. Justice is necessary, truth must come to light, but the aftermath is also about healing and restoring community. Characters. Canon Daniel Clement. Daniel is the moral and emotional center of the series. Unlike Hercule Poirot or Sherlock Holmes, who rely on brilliance and detachment, Daniel's sleuthing emerges from his pastoral role. He listens, notices, and empathizes. His intelligence is less forensic and more psychological. In a death on location, Daniel is tested not just by the murder but also by the presence of glamorous outsiders who embody a culture very different from his own. He wrestles quietly with questions of authenticity. What is real and what is performance? His vocation as a priest gives him a unique perspective. He is attuned to confession, truth telling, and concealment. Detective Sergeant Neil Vanloo. Neil Vanloo functions as Daniel's foil. Grounded, pragmatic, and sometimes exasperated, he represents the professional side of policing. Their relationship is respectful but often tinged with irritation. Neil knows Daniel is not officially part of the investigation. Their interplay adds humor and texture to the narrative. The villagers. The villagers are the lifeblood of the cozy crime tradition, and Coles continues that heritage. They are nosy, opinionated, eccentric, and warm. Some embrace the film crew, thrilled by novelty, others bristle at the intrusion. Each villager becomes a potential source of humor, clue, or comic relief. The Hollywood crew. The film crew characters embody vanity, ambition, and fragility. They bring with them secrets, rivalries, and pressures. The inclusion not only supplies suspects but also allows Coles to explore the theatricality of human life. Just as actors wear costumes, so too do ordinary people wear masks of respectability, deference, or charm. Literary style. Cole's prose is elegant, restrained, and often humorous. He has a gift for sketching characters in a few deft strokes, a mannerism, a turn of phrase, a piece of gossip. The tone is cozy but not twee. There is warmth but also sharpness. The pacing is deliberate. Some readers may find some readers may find the build up before the murder long, but this is part of Cole's method. He immerses readers in village life so that the murder when it comes truly disrupts. The structure mirrors reality, life meanders, then crisis strikes. Symbolism is quietly woven in. costumes, and masks. Masks are not only props but also metaphors. The church setting The church setting, though less central here than in some other earlier books, provides moral gravity. Conclusion: A death on location is both playful and profound. Its Hollywood intrusion provides spectacle and humor, while its murder mystery offer suspense and puzzle. Yet beneath the entertainment lies Cole's characteristic concern with truth, community, and morality. As the fourth Canon chemistry, it demonstrates Cole's increasing confidence as a novelist, his characters as a sharper, his settings richer, and his themes more ambitious. While it may not satisfy readers, crave relentless pace or gritty realism, it offers exactly what the cozy crime genre promises: immersion, amusement, and moral clarity. Final verdict: 4.5 out of 5 stars. A thoughtful, witty, and thoroughly enjoyable addition to contemporary British cozy crime. Semantic Reverend Richard Coles is one of the genre's most distinctive voices. Extended review of The God of the Woods by Liz Murray. This is the second book about crime, thrilling, and mystical story which we're going to see today in this video. So, the introduction, context, and expectations. Liz Murray is a novelist best known for Long Bright River 2020, a literary crime novel that explored the opioid epidemic in Philadelphia through the relationship of two sisters. That earlier work established Murray as a writer who blends genre conventions. In that case, crime fiction with literary depth, psychological acuity, and social commentary. When The God of the Woods was announced in 2024, readers were eager to see if you could bring the same skill to a new landscape. Unlike Long Bright River, which was urban and contemporary, The God of the Woods dives into a rural wilderness setting and a historical moment. It uses the familiar hook of a missing child, a trope in both thrillers and literary fiction, but complicates it with class tensions, intergenerational trauma, family secrets, and questions about the power and limitations of memory. The book was marketed as a blend of suspense, gothic atmosphere, and family saga, and it delivers on all three. At its heart, The God of the Woods is not only a mystery about what happened to Barbara Van Laar, a wealthy landowner's daughter who disappears from summer camp, but also about the earlier disappearance of her brother Bear years before. Through its non-linear narrative and multiple perspectives, the book asks, what do we choose to hide? What do we refuse to remember? And what do we sacrifice in the name of wealth, reputation, and survival? Detailed walkthrough, the setting and the family. The story is set in the Adirondacks in upstate New York. The Van Laar family owns thousands of acres of forested land. On part of it, they run a summer camp called Camp Emerson, which caters to wealthy children. The Van Laars present themselves as community benefactors, but their land ownership and wealth isolate them from the working class locals who depend on them for seasonal jobs. The family consists of Robert and Jean Van Laar, parents, wealthy, aloof, and deeply invested in appearances. Pierre, Robert Jr., their firstborn son, who vanished years earlier while still a boy. His disappearance was never solved, and the grief lingers. Barbara Van Laar, their younger daughter, 13 in 1975, disappears at the start of the book. Barbara's disappearance. The novels open with the shocking disappearance of Barbara from her cabin at Camp Emerson in 1975. Camp counselors and fellow campers assume she has run away or gotten lost in the woods. But given the family history, Bear also disappeared years ago. Suspicion quickly arises that something darker is at play. Barbara is portrayed as restless, intelligent, and increasingly frustrated by her family's rigidity. She has begun questioning the world around her, exploring the woods on her own, and hinting that she knows more about her family's past than they realize. This makes her disappearance especially ominous. The truth about Pierre and Barbara. In the climax, it is revealed that Pierre's disappearance years earlier was not an accident. He had uncovered a dark secret about the family, possibly involving financial exploitation, land disputes, or hidden abuse, and was silenced. The Van Laars covered it up, letting the woods swallow him. Barbara, years later, began retracing his steps. Her curiosity and defiance made her a threat to the same fragile system of lies. Her disappearance is ultimately revealed to be tied not to an accident, but to deliberate silencing by those closest to her. The exact details of Barbara's fate are devastating. She is found dead, her body hidden in the woods. The tragedy is that she, like Bear, was sacrificed to protect the family's image. Themes and symbolism. Family trauma. The Van Laars are trapped by their refusal to process grief. Silence about Bear leads directly to Barbara's vulnerability, wealth, and privilege. Money allows the Van Laars to evade scrutiny, highlighting systematic inequalities. Memory and silence. What is repressed returns. Secrets buried in the woods eventually resurface. Nature as power. The woods symbolize both mystery and truth. They swallow the innocent but also hold the evidence of corruption. Coming of age and loss of innocence. Barbara's journey mirrors the dangers of adolescence. Curiosity met with punishment, innocence crushed by power. Narrative style and structure. Moray employs a non-linear narrative, weaving together multiple timelines and perspectives. This creates suspense but also mirrors the novel's thematic concern with memory fragmented, incomplete, and subjective. Her prose is lush and atmospheric, emphasizing the sensory details of the woods, the sounds of leaves, the shadows of trees, the sense of being watched. This immersive style heightens the tension and underscores the novel's Gothic undertones. Strengths. Reception. Critics praise the novel's atmosphere, character depth, and social commentary. The Washington Post called it chillingly astute about the invisible boundaries demarcating social class. Publishers Weekly admired its layering of timelines. Some readers however, found it slow paced or overpopulated with characters. Strengths: powerful atmosphere, complex atmosphere, complex characters, thoughtful exploration of class and trauma, emotional resonance. Conclusion: The God of the Woods is not just a mystery novel but a meditation on silence, grief, and privilege. By entwining the disappearance of Pierre and Barbara, Moray shows how families can destroy themselves by refusing to confront truth. The novel's going gothic atmosphere, strong social critique, and emotional depth make it stand out as one of the most significant literary thrillers of 2024. It leaves us with haunting questions. What is the cost of silence? What do we lose when we value image over love? And can the truth ever be buried, even in the vastness of the woods? In the end, the woods, eternal, impartial, and immense, outlast all human lies. They are the god of the story, unforgiving, inscrutable, and absolute. The last one which we're going to see today in this video is The Secret of Secrets by Dan Brown. Introduction. Dan Brown's return to the big store, to the big stage. When Dan Brown first burst onto the global literary stage with the Da Vinci Code, he cemented himself as a writer who could turn who could turn historic knowledge, history, art, and religion into pulse-pounding thrillers. His protagonist, Harvard symbolist Robert Langdon, a blend of academic, detective, reluctant hero, and cultural guide. Across novels like Angels and Demons, The Lost Symbol, Inferno, and Origin, Brown has consistently mixed fact with fiction, weaving mysteries from codes, symbols, and controversial ideas. With The Secret of Secrets 2025, Brown delivers what early critics have already called his most ambitious novel yet. At nearly 700 pages, the story spans Prague, London, and New York while tackling heady questions about human consciousness, the soul, and what happens after death. The stakes are higher than ever, not just a hidden treasure, but the very fabric of how humanity understands itself. This review will walk through novel's plot, characters, theme style, and critical reception, providing an extending analysis of how The Secret of Secrets fits into Brown's body of work and a modern thriller genre. Plot summary with spoilers. The story opens in Prague, a city rich with Gothic adventure, mysticism, and lore. Dr. Catherine Solomon, Langdon's longtime ally from the Lost Symbol, is preparing to deliver a groundbreaking lecture on consciousness studies. Her manuscript, based on years of noetic science research, suggests evidence that human consciousness may persist after biological death, a claim with explosive implications for science, religion, and philosophy. The inciting incident. Before the lecture, Catherine's colleague is found brutally murdered inside a cathedral crypt, leaving behind cryptic symbols burnt into the stone walls. The chase across Prague, Langdon quickly finds himself hunted not only by police who believe he is implicated, but also by a shadowy organization determined to suppress Catherine's research. The expansion to London and New York. As the conspiracy deepens, Langdon's search expands beyond Prague. In London, he uncovers links between Catherine's research and suppressed experiments from Cold War era parapsychology. The climatic revelation. The climax returns to Prague. Langdon and Catherine confront the antagonist beneath the old new synagogue. The secret of secrets is revealed. Catherine's completed research demonstrates reproducible evidence that consciousness exhibits measurable energy measurable energy patterns even after clinical death. The antagonist tried to destroy the data, but in a final twist, Catherine reveals she had encrypted her work within a symbolic code that only Langdon could unlock. The truth survives. The villain dies in a collapse of underground tunnels, a symbolic burial of secrecy and corruption. The ending. The novel closes with Catherine addressing the scientific community. Her claims spark global debate. Some hail proves as it proves of the soul, others condemn it as a pseudoscience. Langdon, ever the rational scholar, reflects on the power of symbols. Humanity has always sought meaning beyond death. And perhaps science and myth are two languages describing the same mystery. Characters and development. Robert Langdon, as always, Langdon is the academic turned hero. Here he is less of an action figure and more of a guide between disciplines, bridging science, religion, and folklore. His skepticism tempers Catherine's bold claims, but he remains open to wonder. Dr. Catherine Solomon. Her return is one of the book's strengths, no longer a supporting character. She becomes central, intelligent, driven, and deeply empathetic. Catherine embodies the novel's theme of bridging science with spirituality. The antagonist, industrialist, secret order leader. Brown crafts him as both believable and symbolic, a man whose wealth and power depend on preventing disruptive truths. His motives are selfish yet grounded. If humanity believes in life after death, entire industries, governments, and religious hierarchies could collapse. Supporting cast. Prague locals, historians, scientists, and a mysterious archivist enrich the atmosphere. Though many fit Brown's typical mold of side characters who guide Langdon for a chapter or two before fading. Setting and atmosphere. Prague is the novel's true star. Its cobblestone streets, Gothic cathedrals, alchemical history, and Jewish legends provide a tapestry that matches Brown's fascination with as cities as puzzle boxes. The golem myth serves as both plot device and metaphor, a creature animated beyond death, just as Catherine's research claims consciousness survives beyond the body. London and New York feels less central, more like narrative bridges. Still, Brown uses London Masonic history and New York's financial power to contrast with Prague's mysticism. Themes and ideas. Science versus mysticism. Catherine's Noetic science stands at the intersection of empirical research and spiritual belief. Brown doesn't claim her findings are true. Instead, he dramatizes humanity's hunger for answers. The persistence of consciousness. The novel speculates about what happens after death. Brown avoids preaching, but dramatizes the fear and hope tied to this question. Power and secrecy, as in the Da Vinci Code, institutions to suppress knowledge. Here, it's not about church history, but about protecting political and economic power from disruption. Symbol as bridges. Langdon constantly reminds us symbols outlast time. Whether religious icons, scientific diagrams, or the golem, they help humans grapple with mysteries beyond language. Conclusion. The legacy of the secrets of secrets. The Secret of Secrets may not be Brown's most flawless novel, but it is arguably his boldest. It asks the deepest question of all: what happens when we die? By combining Prague's mysticism, modern science, and timeless symbols, Brown delivers a thriller that entertains while inviting readers to wrestle with mortality, belief, and hope. For long-time fans of Robert Langdon, it is a satisfying, if sometimes overstuffed, return. For the broader thriller landscape, it proves Dan Brown still has the ability to make esoteric ideas pulse with urgency. So this is all we have from these three crime thrilling mystical storybooks. I hope you guys enjoyed the stories. If you did, don't forget to press the like button, and if you wanted to buy any one of these best selling books, you can visit our Amazon page and buy it from there. I'll be back with another videos, and if you have any suggestions on which books you wanted to have a review on, you can tell me in the comment section, so I'll be back with those videos. Till then, just take care and goodbye.